The Golden Globes are always a spectacle. Flashing lights, designer gowns, Hollywood's elite gathered in one place. But this year, it wasn't just about the awards or the fashion. It was about a moment that had everyone talking. Because somewhere between the red carpet arrivals and the after parties, Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber found themselves in the same room. Now, let's be honest, their history is the stuff of legend. And even though they've both moved on, Selena's happily engaged to Benny Blanco, Justin's married to Hailey Bieber, there's still that undeniable weight of what once was. So when Selena saw Justin at the Golden Globes, something shifted. Sources say she got deeply emotional, and honestly, who can blame her? The world watched them fall in love, the world watched them fall apart, and now the world is watching again.
But then you make me feel crazy. You make me feel like it's my fault.
What exactly went down? What did Selena feel in that moment? And why is the internet convinced this encounter changed everything? Let's break it all down. Reports say Selena wasn't expecting to see Justin there. I mean, why would she? It wasn't exactly his usual scene. But there he was, navigating the same ballroom, the same energy, breathing the same air. Imagine that. You're out celebrating one of the biggest nights of your career with your fiancé. And then, boom, your past walks right into the room. It's like a sudden rush of emotions you weren't ready for. And that's exactly what happened. Selena wasn't just emotional because of who she saw. It seemed like she was emotional because of who she is now. She's moved on, she's happy, she's secure. But emotions aren't logical. No matter how much time passes, some things still have a way of creeping up on you. She didn't break down, she didn't run out of the room, but there was a shift, a moment where it all came back. Now, before we dive even deeper, let's talk about why Selena was there in the first place. The 2025 Golden Globes were a major night for her. Not only was she nominated for 2 awards, power move, but this was also her first public event as an engaged woman.
Selena Gomez is here, double nominee tonight for Amelia Perez and Only Murders, and she's here tonight with her new fiance, Benny Blanco.
Yep, Selena and Benny Blanco made their official debut as a couple, and let's just say they understood the assignment. Selena arrived looking absolutely radiant in a light blue off-the-shoulder gown. Think Cinderella at the ball, but make it Hollywood. She was dripping in Tiffany & Company diamonds every inch the superstar she is.
I feel very fancy. I feel a little bit like Cinderella. It's a good vibe.
It's a good vibe, and these jewels, this necklace.
Yes, Tiffany's. They were very sweet.
And Benny, he kept it sleek and classic in a white suit. They weren't just attending the event, they were owning it. But it wasn't just about fashion. The couple was completely in sync. Holding hands, stealing glances, whispering between moments. It was a public declaration. This is real, this is love, and we don't care who's watching.
And Benny Blanco is here because of the genie who granted him that wish. Man, lucky guy.
Now, Selena Gomez is no stranger to having her relationships play out in public. From her highly scrutinized romance with Justin Bieber to her brief flings that made headlines, her love life has always been a topic of discussion. But with Benny Blanco, things feel different. From the moment their relationship became official, they've embraced the attention rather than shying away from it. Unlike some Hollywood couples who keep their romance behind closed doors, Selena and Benny have been completely open, posting affectionate photos, sharing sweet moments on social media, and even responding to fan comments about their love. When Benny first entered the picture, the critics were quite harsh. After all, Selena had spent years being linked to high-profile names, and Benny, while successful in the music industry, wasn't a household name in the same way.
How did you get a woman like Selena Gomez to date you? For real. And I mean that with every sense of my being. I lost a lot of respect for her.
But what people quickly realized is that their connection wasn't about status. It was about genuine love, support, and understanding. One of the things that makes their relationship stand out is how secure and drama-free it appears. Selena has openly gushed about how Benny treats her differently than anyone else she's dated.
I am beyond proud to know that there is someone in the world that deeply cares.
He's been a longtime friend, someone who has seen her through ups and downs, and now he's the person who makes her feel truly loved and valued. And he's not afraid to show it either. From publicly calling her his favorite person to openly defending her against trolls, Benny has proven that he's all in, and Selena has matched that energy right back.
And I look at myself and I'm like, how did I get here? How is this my, no, she's one of the sweetest, one of the most charming.
Of course, being in a public relationship means scrutiny from every angle. Fans analyze every interaction, every social media post, every glance exchanged at major events. But unlike past relationships that were overshadowed by drama or uncertainty, this one feels solid. There's no hesitation, no second guessing, just two people who are completely sure of each other. Which, let's be real, probably made the moment with Justin even more intense. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Because while Selena and Benny were giving fairy tale romance, things on the Bieber side were looking, well, a little awkward. Justin was also at the Golden Globes, possibly with Kylie, and let's just say the vibes were different. Unlike Selena, who seemed happy, glowing, and deeply in love, Justin was, according to reports, keeping a low profile. He wasn't exactly mingling, he wasn't making any big statements. In fact, some sources say he looked uncomfortable. He was, after all, a part of one Hollywood love story that defined an entire generation at one point in time. Selena and Justin weren't just another celebrity couple. They were the couple.
Selena, nice to meet you. I'm Justin. You're very beautiful. Maybe we can go out sometime.
The kind of romance that had fans emotionally invested, hanging on to every update, every public outing, every cryptic song lyric that might have been about each other. They started dating as teenagers, fresh-faced and hopelessly in love. And for years, they kept coming back to each other. No matter how messy things got, it was like they just couldn't quit each other, no matter how hard they tried. But while the love was undeniable, so was the chaos. Their relationship was filled with highs and lows, breakups and makeups, cryptic social media posts, and even a few diss tracks along the way. They were young, they were famous, and they were trying to navigate an incredibly intense relationship under the harshest spotlight imaginable. And ultimately, that spotlight became too much. By 2018, Selena and Justin had officially called it quits. For good this time. And while fans were devastated, those closest to them weren't exactly surprised. Their relationship had become toxic, with reports of jealousy, miscommunication, and the kind of emotional exhaustion that comes from years of trying to make something work that just wasn't meant to. Selena later opened up about the breakup, calling it one of the hardest periods of her life.
But then you make me feel crazy. You make me feel like it's my fault.
She didn't sugarcoat it. She admitted that it was painful, that she had to rebuild herself from the ground up, and that in hindsight, the breakup was the best thing that ever happened to her. And while Justin moved on quickly, marrying Hailey Baldwin just months later, Selena took time to heal. She focused on her music, her health, and becoming the best version of herself. But here's the thing about first loves. They never fully fade. Even when they're over, even when you've moved on, they still hold a piece of you. And that's why this moment at the Golden Globes was so significant. Seeing Justin again in that kind of high-profile setting was always going to be emotional. Not because she wants him back, not because there's unfinished business, but because for someone like Selena, who has spent years reclaiming her narrative and proving that she's more than just Justin Bieber's ex, it was a reminder of just how far she's come. She walked into that ballroom as a two-time nominee, an accomplished actress, a business mogul, and a woman who is truly happy in her own skin. Not as Justin Bieber's ex, but as Selena freaking Gomez.
I'm not sure it's more about misconceptions other than the fact that I'm genuinely happy where I am and I feel great.
And that right there is the biggest plot twist of all. But if you think that was the end of it, think again. Things got even messier. Just days after Selena's engagement news took over the internet, guess what happened? Justin unfollowed her on Instagram. Yep, coincidence? Maybe. But let's be honest, social media is basically the modern-day version of sending a message without actually saying anything. And an unfollow? That's loud. So obviously, this one did not go unnoticed. The question is, why now? Was it because of the engagement? Was it because of that moment at the Golden Globes? Or was it something else entirely? Whatever the reason, one thing is clear. This story is far from over. One thing's for sure. Whether it's in a crowded ballroom, a quiet moment backstage, or through the chaos of social media, the connection between Selena and Justin, whatever's left of it, is still making waves. So what do you think? Was this just an unavoidable run-in, or does this moment say more than meets the eye? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a deep dive like this. Because trust me, there's always more to the story.